everybody. Josh the RV Nerd here at Bish's RV. Welcome to Ludington, Michigan. Today we're taking a look at the very first time I've had my chance to put my hands on an east-west Ahara series fifth wheel. And I thought I'd kind of celebrate that, introduce to this channel by actually doing a twofer. Because what we have here today is first the 325. And this comes in, it's like 34 feet, 7 inches or something like that. It's just under 35 feet. It's an awesome size mark. But we're also going to take a look at the 365 today, which is its big brother. The cool thing is it has the exact same living room. What's really different on the 365 has an extended upper deck. So if you plan to do maybe a little bit more long-term seasonal type stays or something like that, maybe you want to do some full-time RVing. This has a bigger bathroom and an expanded bedroom to kind of just open things up and give you a little more space here. But since this is the first time I've had a chance to bring in Ahara to this channel, I want to deep dive into a lot of the DNA of like what makes Ahara. If you saw previously where we had done some coverage on the East to West Tandara series, what is cool about these is it's just Tandara plus plus plus. And here's what I mean. First of all, we are 101-inch wide body, so we're getting bigger space, more storage, and just a generally more open feel through the entire RV. You're also picking up 6-point hydraulic auto leveling as compared to electric on the Tandara, which is cool. Operates a little bit faster. Might need a little bit of juice, but one of the neat things we're getting to see today is their optional solar package. I also had a really cool opportunity. The brand manager for East to West Ahara met me up here today to basically be the first to reveal to you a couple little sneak peeks of some things that he has planned for the future model year updates, and there's some things I think you're going to like. So as we go today, since this is our first one, please make sure you let me know what you like and what you would change on this one given the opportunity. And if you appreciate how we show you the good with the bad and everything in between, make sure you hit that subscribe button knowing that we'll always shoot you straight. Let's get going because we've got a lot to cover today. And man, between the 101-inch wide body design on this and that sort of like white sand color palette that they have going on, and then just the color pop of the foliage coming in through the windows. I love to say it that way. I love to say stuff kind of sort of wrong. Like, hey, do you mind if I borrow your toothpaste? Like someone's like, wait, what? Or say, oh, here's a good one. Hey, is it cool if I use your toothbrush again? And they go, yeah, wait, what? Like, that's one of my favorite things to do. Anyway, what I'm saying is, this is light, it is big, it is open feeling. You've got just window coverage up the wazoo. If you notice here, like all of the windows on the super slide over here facing the door side of the RV, the camp side of the RV, so you get to enjoy your campsite. Now, as long as I'm right here, I'm going to go ahead and point out what I'm going to lovingly refer to as a no-knee knocker dinette. As a long-legged person who spends a lot of time doing air travel, I enjoy any time I have extra legroom. Now, that is that woven marine style flooring, so this is a carpetless walkable space, and you'll notice that all of the vents are on the cabinet sides. I'll point out a couple of those out as we go. So this is, you know, effectively carpetless, ventless flooring. So it's easy cleaning and just nice and simple to maintain. But back to the greenery coming through the windows there. This is a neutral on neutral on neutral color palette, but it really lends itself well. If you want to add like a couple of pillows or throw blankets or something to add some color or personalization, it really pops to life in here very, very nicely. Now let's start from the top and work our way down. This thing has a 40,500 BTU air system, very, very similar to what Alliance is doing in the Paradigms, where you've got your bedroom and bathroom air conditioning is ducted. These are direct dump airs. And by getting rid of the ducting through the roof construction, what's happening is the air that's actually running through the ducting itself in the ceiling attic construction isn't fighting against the heat exposure that it's getting from the sun. So long story short, you get more of that cold air down in here more quickly. You see that rain sensoring big XL vent fan right there? And keep that little note in your pocket because I've got a little question for you as we move along a little bit. Now, working our way around here, I want to sit you down on the corner of Boardwalk and Park Place. This uses a 12-volt power televator to either give you the television when you want it or the window when you don't. So you can have extra airflow, you can have extra light. The other thing this can potentially do, they didn't do a level change here. So what that creates is just this full-on solid surface serving buffet over here. Now, I could reasonably see somebody saying, yes, but couldn't, if you spilled a liquid, couldn't it get down there and get inside the TV cavity? Sure, it could. So you may want to budget that versus how you plan to purchase the RV and what features and what items you're looking for and don't like. Now, here's something else that I love. start keeping track. Like, let's play a little game. Somebody start making a tally mark every time they see a power outlet in this RV. Like, let's start with the first two here, and you see that we've got some extra, like kitchen accent lighting that I forgot to ignite previously. And again, with that light color palette, boy, it just lightens and brightens right up in here. Where do I want to go from here? Sorry, there's a lot to cover. We've got power theater reclining over here, so you can, sometimes you don't always want to, have your feet sticking straight out, like maybe you got a bum knee or something like that. And sometimes you've got like a bad knee or bad leg and you have a hard time putting a manual recliner down. Well, you don't have that problem or that worry right here. There's some more of those outlets, and we've got bonus points for USBs on both sides of that sofa. There are some USB plugs on the inside arm of that theater seat. I have already talked to the brand manager from East to West, who you're going to meet in a few minutes, to talk about moving those to a better position. But first, I want to pop this open. This is the best hide-a-bed I have ever seen. It's the easiest in, easiest out. You saw me do it there in real time. And because this is a wide-body coach, that means that we have more space to put a big 3 adult-sized seating sofa over here, as well as some side stands with those outlets that we saw, which is great. Now, looking through all the storage right here, we do have a large convection microwave oven. This is pocket screwed cabinetry, and I want to make special note of the refrigerators that we're looking at. You have your choice between a 16 cubic foot, 12 volt DC compressor fridge, which is personally my favorite, but I tend to park camp more. There is also a 12 cubic foot 4-door gas electric fridge freezer swaption that you got to see right there. Let me know which one of those you would prefer and why. And, do you park camp? Do you boondock? Let me know what kind of shapes your desire and your impressions there. Now we're getting all solid surface countertops here. That's another one of those updates and upgrades as compared to the Tandara series. The big, high-rise sprayer faucet that you can unhook and hose down whoever is a little bit of a hothead over here trying to cheat at cards. Of course, I don't know that you really want to spray a lot of water on the RV. I'm just joking. Anyway, the vents. Notice again, the vents are on the cabinet sides. We have some coming there under the island. But if you notice, there are additional vents coming in under that big pantry, which had adjustable, removable shelving. So there are some brands that will make a big fifth wheel like this with a large living cavity. And there's only 2 heat vents coming in under the island. At least they're giving us a couple extra points for heat distribution into this, which I think is a good deal. You may notice too, these are tinted windows and they all have those pull down blackout roller shades. And those have a white backer. So if you really want to blot the sun out, the sun's not beating against something that's black and generating extra heat. It's actually, reflecting heat to keep it from getting inside the RV in the first place. Now, how many times have you heard me say, I don't like a door with no window? Well, guess what, Carol Baskin?
Hey, so my name is Mark Kroll. I'm the product manager for East to West Fifth Wheels, and one item that we're seeking your opinion on is we've heard you loud and clear about adding the window in the entry door. Question for you, do we use the opaque frosted glass window, or do we use the see-through clear glass window with a shade? Please let us know in the comments to this video.
So remember, folks, you heard it here first. Now, I mentioned that we're looking at 2 RVs today. So far, we've really only, at this point, you really can't tell if we've seen the 365 or the 325 because they have the exact same lower deck. We're going to go upstairs now, and this is where things are going to diverge. First, we're going to take a look at the smaller 325, which is awesome that it comes in just under 35 foot. That is a fantastic towing mark, and it weighs less than 12,000 pounds. Now, the 365 weighs a little bit more, it's a little bit longer, but you're gonna see why. Now, I'm juggling 2 different RVs here, so apologies that I didn't bring the battery box over here with me, but we are, again, starting in the little bit smaller 325. Now, you're going to see a dual entry bedroom and bathroom. Normally, in a lot of RVs, that means that you end up with a smaller shower. Since this is a wide body coach, they had this space to give us a good big one-piece seamless fiberglass shower enclosure and still include the dual entry doors on here. So they've kind of given us a little bit of a best of both worlds sort of thing. Now, the front air conditioner on this, they went with a low profile AC, which means they were able to raise the interior. They're literally raising the roof at East to West. This is 6.5 foot tall from floor to ceiling panel in here, which means nice and tall. on the inside. Now, I'm actually going to slip out around and past the little kind of bedroom divider wall here, just to give you an idea. Here is the corner toilet right here. It is positioned in like the most fluffy, friendly fashion, which is something I do appreciate. And you notice how we've got plywood box drawers all the way down to the floors up here, and some good countertop space next to an adult-size sink. Moving our way up, you see that we got a double Lipitorage storage galorage cabinet right there, and just some smart features. Now, if you want to lock this down and privatize this, you're like, I don't want a dual entry door. You can lock the door and forget it. You don't have to use it in that sort of fashion. Now, they've done something different with their bed slides over here, although at a glance, you don't really see it. Like you walk in here and you're like, oh, okay, so it's a front closet. That is stackable washer dryer prepped, by the way, and I like how they even begin with the slatted door so you don't have to worry about changing anything out. But if you look at this, first of all, we've got a 70 by 80 Serta RV King mattress in here. Now, if we get down a little bit lower, you may notice they put some power outlets on the sides of the bed. They're a little bit easy to miss otherwise, but notice how even with the king bed, they left us plenty of room over here for like a little side stand for your phone or something like that. But if you look a little bit more closely, what you see those rollers right there? So it's only the mattress and the bed decking that slide in and out. The bed base is a fixed bed base. And we're going to see the storage below it in just a minute when we get into the bedroom of the 365. But the fact that that is a fixed bed base has some very awesome benefits when we get to the outside of the RV. We're going to talk about some construction aspects when we get out there. Now, the 365 does have a little bit of an expanded bedroom, but overall it is pretty much the same as what we've seen here. So let's hop over there and take a look at that. So backing up to where we started just a second ago in the 325, just so that you have the same point of reference. Because again, exact same lower deck, different upper deck up here. The 365, where it picks up some extra size and some extra length, is the bathroom and the bedroom. This has like a 43% larger bathroom. And what you notice over here, it has a double vanity, a double sink space, but they have put some serious storage space down below that. We'll see this all open in just a minute here. First of all, taking a look over here, the toilet space on this. As long as you have the shower door slid away from the toilet, you have incredible elbow room on this. I personally think that qualifies just fine. And then similarly, remember, we still have that fiberglass one-piece molded shower. But one of the cool things here is, again, that 6.5 foot upper deck means fantastic headroom up in this thing. Now, one of the things you may have noticed in the 325 is that it had, what do I want to say here? Open face linen storage, towel storage in the bathroom. Here in the 365, where they have a bigger storage space, you notice that they don't do that. And if I continue to pivot you around a little bit, I'm actually going to back into the shower, and we can take a look at all the storage space here in this bathroom. So starting up top with the Lipitorage storage galorage, then down below we've got drawerage galorage with all kinds of space below those sinks. And then once again, you've got that doored, closed off, like triple section, super deep linen cabinet over here. Personally, I think this bathroom is a big success. Now, saying that, I acknowledge I'm not a person that usually gets very excited about double sink bathrooms. That being said, the double sink in this one, I don't feel you've lost anything because the whole bathroom is so much bigger. I think it all offsets and you win. But remember how we had that nice big vent fan downstairs in the kitchen? You look up top here and you see this thing. But once again, I've got some insider news for you.
Hey, so we're in here in the bathroom of the 365. So hey, one of the things that we are looking to add is a nice rain sensor 11-inch power vent fan. Is that a good idea, or should we stay with the 4-inch fart fan in the bathroom? Please let us know in the comments below.
I thought that was pretty cool, how Mark went out of his way to share that information with us today so we all had a good idea. Now remember, 40,500 BTU total air system, that's triple 13.5. The bedroom and the bathroom have a small ducting system so that it maintains better efficiency, whereas downstairs, it's dual direct dump airs, so that you're really pumping as much of that cold air into the biggest cabin of the RV as you can with as little interference as possible. Now, I mentioned you've got a king bed here. Remember, only the mattress and the decking slide. The base is still fixed. But I also explained how this 365 has an expanded bedroom in addition to an expanded bathroom. Notice how you've got those household and USB outlets on both of those slide sides. They built this one with a little bit bigger slide box so that you have that a little bit larger side stand, which is kind of cool, but you still don't feel like boxed in, which I think is pretty smart. Now, since the bed base doesn't slide, what do you have in terms of storage down there? Well, taking a look, you have full storage below the bed still. It just comes in the form of 2 extra large drawers that pulls out. It really actually reminds me of something that Rockwood does quite often. Very standard front end on this, where you've got that closet with the stackable washer dryer set up beside it, and then the dresser drawer storage straight across from the bed. So overall, again, what they've done here is taken something that works very well, and then they put their little bit of a spin on it with the fixed bed base. But once again, when we get outside, you're going to see why they did it, and I think you're going to like it. All right, now, so closing up the slides, checking out the road mode accessibility. We're in the 365 specifically, but they will have the exact same road mode functionality. Notice how that bed is not smashing up against the dresser, which is nice. And I'm able to leave this door open because just like say a Keystone Montana, you've got a magnet hold back behind that door, which is no joke. It'll keep that door from jiggle banging around in transit. Now, the bedroom, the bathroom in both the 325 and this 365 are going to be fully travel accessible. But then we get back here, and the question really becomes what happens in the lower deck. And I think they just nailed it. If you notice, there is a reasonable amount of space here where an adult can slide through. And if you notice, the entire refrigerator, whether it's the 2-way fridge or the 12-volt fridge, will be completely accessible, which is very, very cool to me. Now, a couple other quick notes here for you. Some neat stuff before we step outside, beginning with this slide out. So there are 2 different slide systems in use, but down here on the lower deck, these are hydraulic slides. And one of the things that's really cool about that is they move a lot faster. So you get there, you get set up, or you can break camp more quickly. But you notice how one slide is moving and the other slide is not. Both lower deck slides are hydraulic, but they put them on individual switches, which I think is very, very cool. Now, your bedroom does use a purely electric slide, but that's extremely common with RVs that use hydraulic slides downstairs where they're big and heavy. Now, flipping 180 real quick here. I mentioned that the RV that we're looking at today is outfitted with their optional solar package. Starting up top, you've got a 320 watt, hold on, accessing the memory banks. Yes, sorry, obviously I don't edit my videos. 320 watt roof solar panel. It's just one big giant panel. Managing that is a 40 amp MPPT charge controller, and this has a 2000 watt inverter. You actually get to see some of this hardware when we go outside. Your inverter switch is right here. So what exactly does that power? Remember when I told you to go through and do the tally marks on the household outlets? That inverter powers every household outlet you've seen in this RV. It doesn't run the air conditioner. It doesn't run the water heater. Big appliances, it won't run your air conditioners like that. But any household outlet, you want to run a coffee maker, a curling iron, even just a fan or something like that, you can plug into any of these and run that off battery power at a cost. Remember, when you do that, you are exhausting your battery supplies more quickly. There's one other thing. Oh, the air conditioners. I mentioned how it's triple 13,500 BTU AC, 40,500 BTU total cooling power. They are power saver type air systems. And what that means, basically, you can run all 3 compressors simultaneously on 50 amp service. It doesn't juggle air conditioners with a power management system. You can run 2 of them on 30 amp service. So if you ever pull into some site, and there's some campgrounds that'll just let you pick your site, and you'll see some guy with like a pop-up eating a 50 amp campsite because it's under the trees or something like that. Well, if you have to plug into a 30 amp site, you can still keep either, say, both living room airs or one living room and the bedroom bathroom AC going and still maintain a pretty comfortable environment in here, even on 30 amp service. Or that might let you get away with a smaller generator. So like we saw, on the inside, the living room's exactly the same. It's just the 365, which is on our left currently, just has a that bigger dual sink bathroom, and then the expanded bedroom just gives you a little bit more space around that king bed. So on the outside, the features are going to be the same. This 365 just comes up a little bit larger. Now up front here, I've been doing a bad job this year, and pretty much every year, I don't do a good job of showcasing what is inside this front storage compartment. And that would be a mistake on this one, because one of the things you see here is, you see how there's like, it looks almost like a Wile E. Coyote trapdoor right there. Well, that is a spot where if you wanted to generator prep this thing, that's where the generator could ventilate outside. Now, we're looking at the factory solar package today, which actually does come equipped with a battery over here. Normally, though, you would always have at least the 2 battery boxes. By default, they'd simply be empty. And then right there, we see that 2,000 watt inverter. I love the fact that they're using a 2K instead of like a 1,000 or 1,200. So if you want to run things like coffee makers, you got a little more juice to do it. This is very similar to the charge controller system I've seen from Grand Design. Up top, we're going to see where we have a 320 watt giant solar panel. And then right there, that is a 40 amp MPPT charge controller. Now, the reason I stressed those letters, MPPT, is because it's a little more desirable than a PWM. Long story short, what that's going to do, it's going to catch some of the wasted power that a PWM doesn't and just give you more juice. That's the simplest way I can say it that's still completely accurate. Down below, we have ourselves a 6-point hydraulic auto leveling system. That's another one of those differences versus the Tandara. You're moving up to a hydraulic. And one of my favorite things on here, they did build this RV with a single sewer termination point, so you only have one crap cap to have to worry about. It all comes out of one spot when you're hooking up the Stinky Slinky. Underbelly is nicely enclosed, of course, forced air heated, radiant barrier, all that good stuff that you're looking for that has become rather standard fare on a lot of these big fifth wheels. And then down here, since this is a drop frame, which the Tandara is not, we have ourselves a larger storage compartment. Notice too, we still have the Nautilus style docking center over here with our battery disconnect switch and all of our gate poles nicely enclosed and protected. But notice how they gave us an access panel right there to the back of that. So when you need to get in there, you can. But when you don't want to get in there, it doesn't, like, you're not looking at plumbing. You don't worry about shifting cargo, sliding in there and smashing anything up. Now, if you hadn't noticed, sometimes I get to be a little bit formulaic. When I have a lot of things to do, it does kind of help to have a structure. But instead of doing the David Blaine teleport through the baggage compartment and jumping out the other side like I often do, I wanted to take a break to draw special attention to something. Remember up in the bedroom how we talked about how the bed base does not slide? How it's only the actual like mattress and the decking under that slides? This is one of the cool benefits of that. So a lot of manufacturers, the bed slide will come all the way down to like here. And then if you notice, a lot of manufacturers have like a little vertical piece of trim right there. You ever wonder why? The biggest reason is when this RV is bouncing down the road, there's a ton of geometric stress and force that is expressed in that one little area. And as a result, very often it is common for fiberglass to crack in that area because it's a very thin spot. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of weight getting tossed around. Well, first of all, their plywood construction and the use of Azdel keeps the weight of this in check. Like, this big thing is 12,200 pounds. That's very reasonable for something this big. Additionally, by having like a 2-foot sidewall below that slide right there, it means that they don't have to crack their fiberglass. So it's literally not built to fail in a sense, which is very cool, I think. It's a small thing, but it's a big thing to me. Because sometimes bed slides are not all they're cracked up to be. Oh, there's your dad joke for the day. Now, I mentioned this is the big brother to the Tandara. On camera, I don't know that it always shows very well, but when you see them parked side by side, it makes the Tandara look small, doesn't it? Tandara is a traditionally sized mid-profile fifth wheel. It's 8 foot wide. This is 101 inches wide, so it's 3 inches wider, but boy, it sure looks bigger. Part of the reason is because it doesn't taper down so much in the front, which is one of the ways that they're able to accomplish that stackable washer-dryer. Now, this video's been full of me saying, how many times have you heard me complain about, and then seeing where East West has addressed that? How many times have you heard me complain about outside speakers being mounted up against the top of the awning where they blow away the neighbors? Or you don't see that here. This is built from the factory with the intent and sort of expectation that you might bring along your own little portable Bluetooth speaker or something like that. I love it. I love that they're doing that. That's something that I personally really like. Notice too how we've got the double power awnings right over here, the second one on the face of the slide, to really maximize the total patio coverage on this one. And one of the other things that changes when you go from Tandara to Ahara is you move up to G-rated tires, and they are outfitting these. You see the Moride CRE 3000 suspension system right here and wet bolt fasteners. So what that means is if you're doing a lot of towing and you're going down the road, that is a system that is you can grease it so that it doesn't wear itself out when you start adding up those miles. We are backed right up against the property line right over here. But you know what? If I just jump around and I do my David Blaine teleport and you can get a good look at this thing, I'm going to go slow so as to not make anyone motion sick, but I want to kind of canvas around so you can see all this. One of the small features that I like, but I don't want to miss, thankfully they put this little arrow here to indicate to us, is this does have a little gas grill quick connect off the back here. It is tucked way up under that skirting though, so it is nicely protected from like road debris. Now, as long as we're down here, might as well take an opportunity to peek out the 300-pound accessory hitch that we have. And if you notice, we have ourselves a ladder to get up to that roof line there. Now, I haven't done a lot of this yet, so let's talk construction. This RV has plywood roof decking, which is exceptionally rare and uncommon. That is something that you find in almost no brand other than Jayco. I think Highland Ridge has done some of that, but plywood roof decking is almost unheard of. But again, that is where you're saving some weight. Now they've also got 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floor decking with aluminum joists going through the floor. We have aluminum framed block foam insulated laminated sidewalls with Azdel on the outside layer to help keep some of that weight in check. Heck, the slide end walls, the rear wall, the front bulkhead wall, not bunkhead, you dummy. Anyway, front bulkhead wall. Those are also laminated to give you a more consistent thermal break and experience. And those things that I just listed out here, maybe some brand does some of those. I've never seen one brand do all of those. And for East West to come out swinging with some really sharp point features like that, I gotta say, guys, the more that I learn about East to West, the more I'm really starting to become a fan and respect them here. And so once again, I want to offer a quick thanks to... Oh, he's back. We were just noticing that there was a little bit of a vertical discrepancy between the two of us. But no, seriously, quick thank you to Mark for taking the trip up from northern Indiana to mid-Michigan to be with us today to share his insights and help bring us the information. Mark, anything you'd like to share before we wrap up here?
Oh, hey, thanks for the opportunity. Appreciate your suggestions. We'll be watching the feedback. And, hey, keep an eye on Ahara. It's going to be a great luxury fifth wheel for years to come.
Hey, there you go. I tell you all the time, when you folks share that feedback, it does get to the people that actually make these decisions. And that's one of the things I've really liked about East to West. I've noticed that they've been very in tune with consumer feedback. They recognize, they're like, hey, there's some things we think we're doing really well. And they're always saying, how can we get better? And they're willing to acknowledge that there might be some ways that they can get better. So share with Mark, share with him what he's done well. Don't just slice the guy's throat. And then tell him a couple areas that you would like to see a potential idea for an improvement. And let's make this thing a little bit better together. And I'll leave you a link in the video description to check for pricing and availability. And as always, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.